Sir, 60 seconds, minus
60.78.
60.78.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 60.78. Ganapati,
63.03.
63.03. 1 second. 60.03. Then Vivek,
63 C, sir. 63, not 60. Ganapati, sir. Ganapati.
Ganapati 63.03. Yeah. Right? Okay. And Vivek,
Sir, 61.24.
61.24. Then Ritam,
60.21, sir. 60.21, sir.
60.21. Then Rohit,
3.33, sir.
3.33. I could see the variation in measurement number 1, that is first column. I could also see the variation in measurement number 2, which is second column. I could see the variation in measurement number 3, which is third column. Every column has got variation. The readings of one appraiser is not matching with readings of other appraiser. This error is called what? Reproducibility error. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
This error is called reproducibility error. Right?
Yes, sir.
There are 3 sets of reading. Reproducibility error has been committed 3 times. If you want to calculate the reproducibility error, what you need to do is you must calculate the average of Maria's reading. Maria has given 3 reading. I will calculate the average and write it here. That is A1. I'm sure you will know how to calculate average, right? You add all the 3 numbers, divide by 3. That is the average. Same way calculate average of Ganapati. Same way calculate average of Vivek, Ritam and Rohit. How many average you have? 5 average you will have. Since there are 5 appraiser, you will have 5 averages. Now with the 5 averages, can you calculate the standard deviation? 5 average means 5 numbers. Use the 5 numbers to calculate a standard deviation. That is sigma. That sigma should be multiplied by 6. When I multiply by 6, that will give me the total estimated reproducibility error. Do you all understand? That will give me estimate of the total reproducibility error. Now reproducibility error, how to calculate, we have understood. But you really don't have to know, struggle a lot to do all the calculation. Because there are certain software like Minitab. Right now, maybe today or after lunch, I'll be taking you through the Minitab software, and then you will understand how all these calculations are made easier. And now there are 3 different songs I played, but the reality is, what is that you are measuring with the song? You are measuring the duration of the song. Am I right? Actually, I kept the duration of the songs to be exactly 60 seconds with all the 3. That means you have measured the same part 3 times. Do you understand? I have played 3 different songs. You thought they are 3 different parts, but actually the characteristics you are measuring is the duration of the song. As far as the duration of the song is concerned, all the 3 are same. That means Maria has measured the same data 3 times. Only thing is, I did not reveal it while measuring. This is how you should also conduct the measurement system analysis. When you want to validate the measurement system, you should not let the appraiser know that reading in advance. If you let them know in advance, they will give 3 readings straight away. Do you all understand why I did not tell? It looks like 3 different songs, but actually it is the same duration. She measured 3 times, but he gave different reading. If you horizontally look at Maria's reading, 3 reading, there is a variation. This variation is called what? Repeatability error.
Repeat.
She should have given all 3 readings same. If all 3 readings are same, then repeatability error is 0, but not same. Now calculate the standard deviation of the 3 readings. That will be the repeatability error committed by first appraiser. Same way, in Ganapati's reading also, there is an error that is called repeatability error committed by Ganapati. And third one, repeatability error committed by Vivek. And then Ritam, Rohit, everybody committed. I will sum up all the repeatability error. That is the total repeatability error. Similarly, I sum up all the reproducibility error. That will be the total reproducibility error. Now we move on to the calculation. Do you know what is sigma reproducibility here? All of you understand? Can I get a yes?
Yes, sir.
How do you get the sigma reproducibility? Figure out the average from each appraiser. Use the average to calculate the standard deviation. That is sigma reproducibility. Similarly, for each appraiser, there will be a sigma and calculate the sigma repeatability. Combine the sigma. Whenever you are combining standard deviation, you have to square them, add them, and then take a square root. Now the resulting sigma is the standard deviation of the precision error. This standard deviation of the precision error, also called as measurement error, should be multiplied by 6 so that you get the total measurement error. All of you understand how total measurement error is arrived? Now, how much is this error with respect to the tolerance? Suppose if I ask you, how much is your exam score? You are telling me exam score is 45. When you say exam score is 45, in order to understand whether it is good or bad, I require the denominator. Whether the 45 is out of 50 or out of 100, I should know. Then only I can say whether it is good or bad. Similarly, when you have measurement error, I need a denominator. The denominator is always the tolerance. Tolerance is difference between upper specification limit and lower specification limit. So error in the numerator, tolerance in the denominator. The error in the numerator is called precision error. The denominator is tolerance. And so the ratio is called precision tolerance ratio. All of you understand what is precision tolerance ratio? And this precision tolerance ratio is specially called as gauge R&R, where R&R stands for repeatability and reproducibility. When repeatability error and reproducibility error are summed up and compared with the tolerance, the ratio is called what? Precision tolerance ratio. That is also known as gauge R&R. This is a famous terminology used in industry. You must know it. This gauge R&R, if it is less than 10%, your measurement system is considered good. You can proceed with the data collection and you can proceed with analysis. If it is not good, you must correct your measurement system. If correction is not possible, you must change your measurement system. Right? And in certain cases, 10 to 30% error is conditionally acceptable. But in no case, error more than 30% is unacceptable. The data containing a gauge R&R of more than 30% is unworthy for analysis. You must scrap it. If you still proceed with the data, that will direct you in a wrong direction. That will direct you to poorly understand the problem. When you poorly understand the problem, you will poorly handle it, and then results will not happen. In case, if the error is more, why it is more? How do I sort it out? How do I reduce it? With the same data given by all of you, I can generate 6 graphs. The first one is a bar chart. The next one is a control chart, particularly called as R chart. R means range. R means range. The next one is called X bar chart. X bar means average. If you learn to use statistics in your real life, you will be highly, highly successful. Your domain knowledge, when combined with the statistical knowledge, you can grow very fast, right? And see here, everything is statistics. So R chart, X bar chart, and here what you see is, a chart which is called, a dot plot, which is called a dot plot. You see several dots, right? And so it is called a dot plot. And then this is called box plot. This is called the box plot. And again, this is called interaction plot. These 6 graphs will help you understand the root of the problem. Why measurement error is too much? Which particular operator is contributing to the repeatability error? Is it the error committed by appraiser A is more or appraiser B is more? Why there is a reproducibility issue? Who is not aligning with the team? Is it appraiser A or appraiser B or appraiser C or appraiser D? You can take meaningful action, and then you can make everybody work in the project properly. You can correct your measurement system, right? And how to analyze and all those things we'll discuss probably post lunch. And the same data when fed in Minitab, it will generate a report, and in that report,
என்னடா பண்ணி விட்ட?
okay. So I understand your challenges, like a lot of echo. Okay, so we need to take care of all these things while going in an online mode, right? And see here, this particular item talks about gauge R&R. This we want to be less than 10%. Is it less than 10% here? Yes. That means our data is error free. Error is there, but only 4%. 4% is okay. Customer has given a tolerance of plus or minus 5 mm. Plus or minus 5 mm means the total specification width is 10 mm. Right side 5 mm, left side 5 mm. Totally 10 mm. When customer gives you a tolerance of 10 mm, 10% of the 10 mm can be your error. How much is 10% of 10 mm? 1 mm. Right? Your readings can have an error of 1 mm, not more than that. If your readings can have an error of 1 mm, if your process is working between 95 and 105. The range of your readings is considered the tolerance, and 10% of the tolerance should be the error, which is called gauge R&R. Right? And then there is one more thing here called the number of distinct categories, NDC. This is otherwise shortly called as NDC. This NDC should be minimum 5. It should be 5 and above to say your measurement system is strong enough, to say your data is credible. So what is this NDC? How to generate these graphs and reports, how to read them, we will see it after the lunch. So what do we understood in the morning session? The main objective of the measure phase is we want to validate the measurement system. The kind of equipment what we have, is it really capable of supporting us in the project? Is it really capable of helping us understand the problem correctly? Because understanding the problem is important for solving it. And then if it is really validated, then I will proceed and measure the baseline performance, otherwise not. And then basic statistics like average, standard deviation, range, variance helps us summarize any data. It tells us the central value. It helps us to understand the degree of variation. It helps us to explore the difference that exists between the group and between the appraiser. Without statistics, you really cannot take decision. The program is all about equipping you with the problem solving and decision making skills. If you really wanted to take decision like a leader, then you must learn statistics. You have to show a lot of interest in learning the statistical concepts, right? It is not like your mathematics. Your mathematics is all about equality, but statistics is all about inequality. When you are dealing with inequality, you have to be focused enough to understand so that you can apply it and produce meaningful results in real life. And MSA terminologies you have mastered: bias, linearity, stability, resolution. Resolution is the minimum reading that your equipment is capable of. Resolution is the minimum reading or minimum signal to which your equipment can respond. You call it least count, right? And gauge R&R is a measure of the precision error, where R&R stands for repeatability and reproducibility. You sum up and compare it against the tolerance, that is called gauge R&R, also known as precision tolerance ratio. This precision tolerance ratio or gauge R&R should be less than 10% of the total tolerance. Total tolerance is indicated as interest zone, because sometimes denominator can vary according to your interest. Sometimes you may like to work with the customer tolerance, which is USL minus LSL. Sometimes you might like to work with the process tolerance, which is UCL minus LCL. Sometimes you may not have any tolerance at all. Under such situation, the range in the reading, which is considered the steady variation, will be used as the tolerance, right? Ultimately, the error should be less than 10%. See here, you need to conduct the gauge R&R if your data is a continuous data. If your data is discrete data, or attribute data, you must conduct another study called attribute agreement analysis. It is the type of data which demands a particular tool. If your data is continuous, time is a continuous data. We measured time in our experimentation. So gauge R&R study is conducted. But if you are working with an attribute data, let us say somebody is checking and deciding whether the product is good or bad. When the decision is finally good or bad, the kind of data is attribute data. And in a beauty contest, judges are giving the score. They give score of 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. That's a quantitative data, but still it is discrete. So that should also be considered as attribute data. And then attribute agreement analysis have to be performed. The team accuracy should be 90%. That means, again, the error permissible error is 10%. If 90% is not possible, certain occasion, 70 to 90 is also considered okay. But in any case, less than 70% is considered unacceptable. When there are 3 judges, all of them have to work as a team perfectly, ensuring an accuracy of at least 90%, in the worst case, at least 70%. But in any case, if the judgment, the judgment accuracy is less than 70%, that judgment should be, carried out once again. So this is how, the measurement system analysis is helping you. Thank you for your,